Live from the City of Angels, it's Thursday night, a muted Thursday night. We've got another very slow weekend ahead of us at the box office. We are just doing YouTube only tonight. It's just going to be a more intimate setting. And the show won't go that long tonight. I only have a little bit to talk about here with Black Bag. And then we're going to watch the F1 trailer, the third trailer for this film that comes out in June. Tickets went on sale for the exclusive IMAX screenings of that today. We'll discuss all that coming up. But again, it's just going to be a chill weekend, and that's not good for movie theaters. It's just, listen, you've got to have a reason. People have to have a reason to come to the movies, and you're not going to give them a compelling one when you have films like Novocaine and Black Bag entering the multiplexes this weekend. I mean, these are two small films, right? I know that Paramount hopes Novocaine will do better than I see it doing here tonight. We'll talk about the forecast, but this is not the kind of thing that entices moviegoers to come to the movies. So we will discuss that coming up. Let's get started, though, tonight with an MMT evaluation right off the bat with Steven Soderbergh back with the second film this year. It is the follow-up, well, not the follow-up to, because it has nothing to do with Presence, but let's hope it's a better film. I hoped it was a better film. One thing you know about Soderbergh at this point, he is cranking out films. Like, the man can just, I imagine this thing took, honestly, about 3 weeks to shoot. Black Bag is so unimpressive, and as we talked about with Presence, same thing. I mean, when I went to that screening in Burbank for that film, it was like, he said he had the lock done within hours, which means basically the film was ready to show. Okay, so that's obviously not a good thing. All right, here we go. Let's, if you're done editing your film within hours of shooting, that's probably, and trust me, you can see it with Presence. Here comes the MMT evaluation of Black Bag. Let's watch a scene. I'm going to tell you, this is a very convoluted MI6 glass onion. Okay, and there's a lot going on, and I have a feeling you're going to doze off for a while because this film gets stuck in moments that you're like, okay, this is all we're going to do for 10 minutes. Here's a taste of the film, and this is perfect. This is a scene in the dining room as Fassbender invites all of his MI6 buddies in, along with his wife, Cate Blanchett, and they have this discussion about being spies and then also being human beings. Just get a taste. This is what the film feels like for 90 minutes. Thanks God it was short. This is the film. This is the film for 90 minutes. Lots of characters spitting lines out on top of each other in this script that, at times I think over the close of this thing, it gets a little stronger. But I'm telling you, for the first 20, 30, 45 hour of this, you're going to be borderline comatose. And the thing is here's how I know that I wasn't alone. 3 people got up and left 45 minutes in. All 3 of them grabbed their things and they headed out to the lobby. Well, of course, because, again, this just feels like something he cranked out. The problem with this film is, and this is going to be the only time that you ever hear me say this film needs a longer runtime. Okay? I know. You're what? Weber's saying a film needs to be longer? Because of the story you're trying to tell with all these characters that inhabit the MI6, right? CIA, whichever way you want to go, but it's set in London. And you look at all of the plot threads you're trying to pull through as this guy double-crossed this person and she did this and that. And then by the end, you're like, what? What's going on? Because you really need either a longer runtime or I think the fix here, I'm going to give you the fix early. The fix is you've got to make this an episodic show. And I'm not saying it's going to be a good episodic show, but it just doesn't feel like the right thing for a 90-minute film because, again, you come into it already like, okay, let's set the stage a little better rather than here comes the first dinner party. And then, of course, through the dinner party, you learn about the characters. I was not interested in this film at all, okay, until the very end. It was a little bit, okay, somewhat interesting with the reveal, but it's not enough to recommend the film. Okay, it's not a terrible film. It's just not something that I'm going to be like, hey, go see Black Bag. You're going to love this. No. First of all, you got a TV show aesthetic going on. I don't know how he's shooting these things, but same thing we saw with Presence in this. They look like something on Netflix, on Amazon, on Apple TV. Talk about Apple here in a minute with F1. But yeah, it just doesn't have that. I would say I haven't even watched Severance, but I imagine Severance looks better than this. So it just doesn't even feel like it should be in a theater, right? It's just a perfect mid-March dump by Focus, who clearly knows this isn't a great film, because remember, if it were, they'd hold it, because you've got Blanchett and Fassbender. You've got two possible awards plays with those two names. I love Fassbender. He's very good here. You know, he's just this kind of dark, really intelligent dude who, along with his wife, trying to figure out who's doing the double crossing inside of MI6. And then there's a double cross into a double cross. That's what we talk about. It's like Glass Onion, right? It's like a version of that, of Knives Out. So when you look at this, that's what you're getting. And Cate Blanchett, I'm going to put a thumbs down on this too. Stop with the face work. This is probably going to get me the most heat I've ever had on this channel. Stop with the face work, Cate Blanchett. You're starting to look like the Catwoman. You guys know who I'm talking about. So much injected into her face that her cheeks are puffed out like Chip and Dale. And I'm like, stop. I don't know what it is, man. Listen, I understand in Hollywood it's not easy to age gracefully because the camera is unforgiving. Trust me, as I get older. But I'm not on the big screen. But she just is starting to look a little bit weird. And I'm sorry this has to be like the number one critique of the film, but it's true. These things have to be said. Women, leave your faces alone. Same thing goes for dudes. I told you about the guy at my gym. He had the face job, like the pull back. Hey, guys. It's like, dude, stop. You look like a skeleton with your skin stretched across it. It's bad. We got to stop this, okay? A little bit here and there, okay? We just got into this with the Millie, right, from Electric State, which comes this weekend. We'll have a reaction to that coming up on Sunday night. Watch out. But, right, we talk about how these stars just can't leave Better Off Alone. You looked gorgeous how it was. Age gracefully, Cate. Stop doing the fillers. Sorry. I mean, that's the takeaway here tonight. The score is 69%. I figured we'd end. This is a perfect number for this film, right? It's not terrible. It's not great, so we'll put it at 69, not out of 69, out of 100. So the early word, again, bites us in the ass. The people who saw Black Bag 10 days ago or so, oh my God, he's back. Soderbergh and Fassbender and, of course, Blanchett. Here we go. And then you watch the film, you're like, oh my God, it happened again. I'm telling you, not going to get angry. I'm very chill tonight. I dozed off for like 2 minutes during this film. It really should have been longer, but I kind of jolted myself up and go, okay, sort of pay attention. It's only 90 minutes. Here's the thing. This space is littered with fucking idiots. I'm tired of having this discussion. I'm not going to have this every time, but I have to continually hammer it back home to this. This space is full of people with either terrible taste or the need to be the first person to say something's great. The average person has no talent. They have a bias. They carry an agenda. They say it's Soderbergh. They just can't get out of their own way. And frankly, they never had it in the first place. Don't trust anyone in this space. I'm not kidding you guys. It is sub 5 people, not 5%, 5. And I don't think I name them right now. It's a very, really poor talent base that exhibits, that shows itself in this space. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's just happened again here tonight with Black Bag, a film that I was told was all. Got to be fucking kidding me. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, it would be a very mediocre episodic on Peacock. What are we talking about? We have lost so much in cinema, right? Thank God we're going to watch a trailer for a real movie here in a minute. But listen, you're talking to a guy who doesn't need to watch something huge. Don't say, oh, well, this is more of an intimate. Yeah, it belongs on television. This is not in a theater. There's nothing about this film that commands you go see it in a theater. And again, Soderbergh, I think he's just cranking shit out at this point. Go back and look at Magic Mike 3. Magic Mike's Last Dance. Thank God it was The Last Dance. Oh my God, horrible. And then you go to Presence, another very bad film. And then tonight, better, but still, that's only made better by Fassbender and by Blanchett when she doesn't try to look like Catwoman. That's, I'm just going to get, they're coming for me. Too bad, don't care. I'm right. If this starts a conversation, good. Good, because I'm right, okay? No Botox here. Can you tell? Can you tell? So that's the takeaway here for Black Bag. Soderbergh had such an inconsistent career, unlike a contemporary Tarantino. Well, yeah, listen, yeah, exactly. Tarantino's legit every time, but he makes films, right? Again, Soderbergh just cranks shit out. If you look at his career, look how many films he has. I'll pull it up right here. Let's just do it. Let's see. Let's count how many films that he has. Remember when he was going to retire? Years ago, he's like, this is my last film, and then he comes back. It's like, of course. At least I give Tarantino some credit. He said, I'm done, and he hasn't come back. I mean, I think he still will make one film, but he's like, if it's not good, I'm not going to do it. Let's look. How many films does Soderbergh have? Director, 53 films, okay? I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. And my man's like cranking shit out, right? 53 films, okay? I mean, trust me, Presence was shot in I think 10 days. Black Bag, I bet, was 20 max. There's nothing in this film. Not one shot, not one thing that tells me this took longer than 20 days to put together. Again, that gets back to that whole cinematic value. This film has very, very little cinematic value. I mean, I would say maybe some of the lowest cinematic value I've seen. I'd say it's maybe even lower than a Liam Neeson. Those garbage things like Black Hat. What was the one he just had? Another black film. Black Command. I don't remember what it's called. But right, the same kind of garbage. Hell, I would even tell you that Daisy Ridley's Cleaner looks more cinematic than this. It's just the way it's shot, the way it just doesn't deserve your time. Sorry, it just doesn't. It looks better in quality. Yeah, of course it is. But yeah, that's bad. Presence is bad. This you'll be able to tolerate. But it's the weirdest thing, right? It's a 90-minute movie. I said it needs to be longer because you're trying to do so much with these characters that at the end when it's all revealed, you're like, who's what? Who was the person who's the Russian guy? I need someone to step in, right? Remember that old VH1 show? What was it called where they came in the news of the week and they come in and talk to I feel like I need someone to come in like me and narrate. So if you remember, the Russian guy was tied to the other person when she went to visit Vienna, and then they met on that bench, and there's a CIA guy. They didn't really say who it was, but he was CIA. So does that make sense now? That's what we're dealing with here. And that's why the three people got up and left. And the guy next to me was, I kid you not, asleep. I can't make this stuff up, guys. The guy next to me hobbled in on a cane, and he was asleep for half of it, too. This is not a good film, okay? I was at the Soderbergh live Q&A Presence at Burbank. I didn't sense any enthusiasm from him. Like you said, he's just busting film. Exactly, right, Rob? We were both the same thing. I just left as soon as that film was over. As soon as I heard him say it took 10 days or whatever, I wanted him to tell me that it was the shortest shoot ever because you could see it. And this film's the same kind of thing. I mean, it's better than Presence, but again, what are we talking about, right? What are we talking about here? We're not talking about much. More comments before we go. Let's go ahead because this film is so forgettable. I just don't even want to discuss it much longer. In fact, that's over. Let's stop. Here we go. Let's look at the sales for Novocaine. That's the other film that opens here this weekend. As I mentioned off the top, it's going to be dead, man. We got weekend number 2 of Mickey 17. We got Presence. And not present, sorry. I knew it's a word with about that many letters. Novocaine and Black Hat Bag, black shit, whatever the hell you want to call it. Novocaine, look at this. 4 people at the 5 o'clock here tonight in Burbank. Why do this is important. I use Burbank, and it sometimes is a bad gauge because everyone goes to movies in Burbank. Well, if no one's going to see this, then you know it's bombing everywhere. 4 people at 5, and here is the 4 people at 7:40. This one just went off. I don't know. I did this a little earlier. Maybe there's 5 people in there now. But this is dead, right? Dead zone. And again, theaters are going to get screwed. Even next weekend with Snow White. Sure, it'll be better than this, even if it's terrible, because at least it's a name and the families will come. Trust me. Listen, the film's not going to do well, but there will be families that go see Snow White because it's a live-action Disney. Disney's a brand. They don't care about the woke, anti-woke. They'll just go, I'll take my kids to see Snow White. So, yeah, we'll talk about that next week, but that is, next week. This week is dead zone. I'm going to put the MMT projector on Novocaine at 8. I'll take Black Bag at like 6, and I'll take Mickey 17 minus 70. It's terrible. Don't get me started on Mickey 17 tonight. It's a fucking abomination of a film. It's not as bad as Megalopolis, because that's not even really a film. It's an embarrassment on every level. From a screenplay, Mickey 17 is one of the worst you will see, and it deserves to drop 90%. It deserves to drop 99%. I would love it to drop 100%. That's how terrible Mickey 17 is. Part of me, being a sadist, wants you to watch Novocaine. Listen, it's really a choice, I think, this weekend, because I'm going to be a little jammed. Do I watch Novocaine or Electric State? I got to watch Electric State, because you're all going to be like, in fact, if I have a chance tomorrow, I'll probably watch Electric State, because it shows up on Netflix like tonight, and then we can do a live stream tomorrow night. Short, only that. Only me ripping it apart for like an hour. That's it. And then Saturday, we have Snow White. The embargo, I believe, drops on Saturday, right? Or is it next week? It's this week, isn't it? So we should do a live stream about 5:30 here in LA, 8:30 East Coast on Saturday for the first Snow White reactions, because that'll be a short one. We can do like a 15-minute, have some shits and giggles with what people are saying about this film. But remember, don't trust anybody. I don't trust the anti-wokers. I don't trust the pro-left-wing weirdo film Twitter people either. I'm in the middle, which makes me perfect, right? A moderate. I got no home. I'm politically homeless. I do lean one way or another at times, but remember, if you carry in an agenda into a film, you're fucked. Well, you're not, because to you, you think you're doing the right thing. Actually, you're unreliable, useless, and let me remind you, you have no fucking talent. First of all, the town for sure, but this space is full of some of the lowest levels of talent of any space in the entire, name a space, the film space, in discussion, and certainly reviews, some of the lowest talent you'll find at any level, anywhere, for anything, any industry. That's how bad it is. Because we have people that put a chef's hat on and say, I'm a chef. No, you're not. You're fucking terrible. You have no talent, you have no taste, and you also have an agenda. Well, that makes you really reliable. I watched someone that I know give Mickey 17 a 94 or some odd percent. Do you understand that if you give Mickey 17 a 94 and some odd percent, you are done? It is over. It's not just over. You're dead. You're buried. It's itchy and scratchy. Down the well. Shot again. Going back with the harp. You get blown away. Bazooka to the face. It's fucking over. There's no coming back for that. And you know why you gave it a 94? Let me tell you why, bro. Because you are a bong bitch. And because you're a bong bitch, you're unreliable and you're fucking out. You're done. It's done. It's fucking over. Okay? Like Shannon in fucking Drive. It's done. It's over. Don't even bother. Don't ever tweet again. Don't give me a reaction, anything. You just gave Mickey 17 a 90 fucking 4. It's done. It's over. Fucking over. All right, Emma. I'm like this mix tonight of tired and angry and just want to go to bed. So you're getting what you get tonight. Tonight's kit, Real Sociedad, who lost today. They're out. But I grabbed it and I said, let's just wear. I haven't worn this one in forever. Let's get ready to talk about our MMT Cinema Champion tonight. It is Apple Original Films. Why? F1. Trailer 3 just dropped today. I have not watched it. We're moments away from watching this film, but we have to, before we watch the trailer, give love and respect to Apple for partnering with Warner Brothers to put F1 in theaters in IMAX coming up in June. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, without question, Apple Original Films has earned the MMT Cinema Champion Award. It is time to watch. I have not watched this, so just know everything you watch right now is original reaction. This is not going to be taped. This is not prejudged. This is as we go from frame 0 to 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Here comes F1.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot. The best.
Look at the shots. Kaczynski's back, of course, from Top Gun Maverick. Perfect director for this, right? It just feels big already. We're 19 seconds in, and I'm watching a film, not Black Bag, which belongs on Peacock.
That never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, you'll never.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
Ever break Jack.
You plus
I'm hearing a lot about this kid. Have I seen him in a movie? I know he's been on shows, but everyone's talking about how talented this kid is. So this is obviously his arrival here in F1.
him. Boom. I got a team.
I can still.
When was the last time you won a race? Sunday, Daytona? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One. Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
That's Pitt doing the same thing he did in Moneyball, right? I feel like I just was watching Moneyball. He just does Brad Pitt. It's good. I love Brad Pitt. He's one of my man crushes, but he just does what? Brad Pitt.
There's this new guy. He's old. He's such a prick. He's quick though.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an ass.
dickhead. That was constructive.
Wow.
June 27th in IMAX. Warner Brothers and Apple present Hell Yeah.
Did you win something? There's 20 other drivers still out on that track. Do you think any of them respect us?
They're saying Sonny Hayes.
Brad Pitt looks so good for 60. I mean, right? My man kept himself in tip-top shape.
Isn't a has-been. He's a never was.
If the last thing I do is drive that car, I will take that life, man. 1,000 times.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
I love it. Looks great, right? Absolutely. You look at Javier Bardem's in this, Kerry Condon from Banshees, and you've got that kid, Damson Idris. So this is going to be one of the big movies this summer, as you guys are probably aware of. Tickets went on sale today via the F1 website. Look, this is only going to be this fan-first screening in 25 locations. Look in L.A. You've got Universal City Walk down the street from me and Regal Irvine Spectrum. And as I go here, I think you click on it and let's see if we can find it. I bet you it's sold out. There's no way it's not. Okay, let's see. Use current location. Let's do, I don't know if it's going to show here because, yeah, it's not there. I got to switch it to, where's Universal? Boom, here we go. All right, there it is, almost full. Let's check and see what it looks like right now, live. Well, if you want to sit in the front row, you can. Hold on, let me click it. It jumped out. If you want to sit all the way down in the front row, you have some seats at Universal. I did get a seat. I got a seat, guys. I'm going to this. And this will be coming up on Monday, June 23rd. It opens on that Wednesday, so like 2 days early. It's not like major early access. But obviously, this is a film that Warner Brothers believes in because they're doing the fan first, as opposed to what we just saw with Mickey 17, film they should not believe in. And we saw it, and they were 100% right to not believe in it. So this is going to be really something I'm looking forward to, obviously, because it feels like that perfect summertime film. Also feels, I mean, come on, guys, we just watched the trailer. Is this or is this not Creed? Right? I mean, or any number of movies we've seen where the grizzled veteran teaches the kid. We just saw it in Gran Turismo, which is a very good film. I like Gran Turismo. It's really fun. So that is kind of the appetizer for this. If you haven't seen Gran Turismo, watch it. We recommended that film very highly. And this will be a total movie theater movie, which is, thank God it's not on Netflix, right? Netflix sucks balls. How many times? We know that. Come on, guys. Duh, you know these things. But it's further proof here. The question is, as great as expected, will Oscars remember it? You know, we talk about that all the time. Eagles Gateway, welcome to the channel. We talk about it all the time, the importance of dropping inside the awards window. Now, remember, there have been, obviously, many times where you've had films that have not necessarily dropped in the window. Look no further than Oppenheimer from 2 years ago, right? Dropped in the middle of summer. Well, July, August, right? And then you look at it able to carry through because the box office helped. In this case, it doesn't really feel like an awards movie. That said, I think it's time that we stop saying that something has to feel like an awards movie. Go back and look at Top Gun Maverick, a film that wasn't an awards movie but ended up having award success. I think that it definitely deserved a Best Picture. So if this film is strong, which I imagine it is because I trust in Kaczynski, obviously in Pitt, and everybody here, and then you look at the possibility for this to make some solid cash. Remember, F1 is the number one sport globally. I believe outside the United States is huge, right? Over here in the United States, F1 is not that big a deal. But when you go over to Britain, you go overseas to Germany, you're going to get the F1. So the overseas numbers here will very likely be stronger, if not a 2-to-1 international stateside. So look for this to pop. It's one of the reasons Warner Brothers really wanted this film, I'm sure, was for that global cash. They're going to share it with Apple, but it's a nice synergistic play, as we've seen studios do in the past. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Interstellar a joint, right? Wasn't it Warner Brothers and Paramount? I'm pretty sure, right? We've seen that in the past where these two different studios come together. Twister was, and Twister's the second one. So they split it, right? One gets domestic, one international. But in this case, Apple needs help getting their films in theaters. Warner Brothers knows how to do that. Not great as of late with things like Mickey 17 and Trap. And what was that other one? The Watchers. Oh, God. And then, of course, Horizon. We're never going to get Horizon Part 2. Thank God. My God. Part 1 was fucking horrible. So you're looking at a film that's going to dominate this summer. Excited to see it. And when you look at what's coming, there's not a lot to be all that stoked for. So here we go with a film that will play big in IMAX, and that's good to hear. Could be another Ford Ferrari. Possibly. It looks a little more, right? Ford Ferrari was more of a character study, right? You had the racing, but this is a race film, right? This is Gran Turismo. This is Gran Turismo meets Creed, but Gran Turismo had Creed. So, right, the same. We've seen this a million times. But it doesn't matter. If it's executed well, obviously someone's going to get in a crash, and then, we've got to race for this person. We already know the script, right? We know. You're not going to go into F1 and go, wow, I'm blown away by this. I didn't see this coming. This twist. No. You're just going to know going, but that's okay because you go back to even Top Gun Maverick had a few things going on that I wasn't expecting. But again, Kaczynski knows how to handle this. He proved himself. It's done, right? Once you proved yourself with the Top Gun Maverick, even though he's made some films that weren't all that memorable, you do a Top Gun Maverick, you're good in my book, okay? At least for several films. And here, working with the cast that he has and the budget, clearly, that they spent on this thing, hundreds of millions. I think it's 150 plus, right? So it looks like that big film as opposed to something like Black Bag, which should have been on Peacock. Other comments, then we're going to get out of here tonight. That's it. It's a tight stream because we're going to come back and do Electric State. That's going to be coming up on possibly tomorrow. If not, we'll save it till Sunday. We'll do Electric State here. Of course we will. I was going to drive to see it in Westwood, but I don't want to drive to Westwood to watch Electric State. It's just, I'm done driving around. If it's at Burbank, I would have already seen it, right? It's just, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'll just watch it here on some pirated website. Did I just say that? Do you think I'm going to support Netflix? Fuck it, no. Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to come after me, Netflix? Oh, I'm so scared. God, fucking Netflix. What do you think you can give a Why are you even asking me about Minecraft? Oh my God, that movie. The kids will love it, right? Minecraft's huge. So with the younger set, so it's going to make money, which will be the weirdest thing, right? We'll all be bagging on Minecraft, saying it's terrible. It'll end up making like 600 million worldwide. No, not okay, but it'll do well. You'll expect it to open with like 8 million. It'll open for like 78 million. You'll be like, what? What happened? So I think we have early tracking on that. We'll talk about it on Sunday. But yeah, that's not for me, right? Some of these movies are not for us. Novocaine's not for me. I can tell. I mean, you guys know I don't want to watch that anymore. I already suffered through the last one. What was the last one I said? Oh, Nobody. I was not great. We've seen that that trope. Oh, my God. Here's the beta bitch who turns into an assassin. Oh, my God. Just had Love Hurts. Didn't watch that. I am now going to excuse myself from the table for some of these films. And I've heard from many people, direct messages and otherwise, from people who actually are pretty lenient on films saying Novocaine was unbearable. And that's another thing, right? If I have to sit through another film where I was told from the initial people from South by Southwest, it's so much fun. Oh, wait, you're doing an interview with Jack Quaid. That's weird. I wonder why you said it was so much fun. I don't play the game, right? They'd be like, hey, Weber, do you want to interview Jack Quaid? But let me see the film. It's fucking terrible. No, I don't want to interview. And if he does, can I tell him it's bad? No? Okay, fine. Then I don't want to do the interview. That's the difference. That's the difference between me and everyone else. It's 100%. Everyone else will play the game of, I get the interview? Okay, I'll say at least I'll try. This is fun, and this is good, and let's do this. Hell no, okay? I want Jonathan Majors to come on and talk about everything that's going on in his life, and I also love Magazine Dreams. If I hated the film, yeah, we could have him come on, but I'm not going to be as energetic. I have to believe in the product. If I do not believe in the product, I do not believe in doing the interview, okay? And I don't even want to do. I don't need to. This is a one-man show. I'm good. I'm just saying, you're never going to catch me talking to Jack Quaid after coming out of Novocaine saying, holy shit, this is fucking terrible. Because they won't do that. Because they know that interview disappears and there goes a video for you to get views. I'm calling you out right now. You know I'm calling you out, okay? I'm not going to tell you who because there's plenty of you out there. I'm calling you out. I'm the last man standing. I am not for sale, and that's what makes us number one. It'll never happen. Never. And that's why we will forever be the gold standard. It's not a contest, okay? No one's better, and no one has more journalistic principles than me. Nobody in the space. It's not a contest. No one. Nobody. And the talent, it's everything. I'm almost done. I'm exhausted. But it's true. And I'm sorry I have to keep saying that over and over, but it's true. Sully, you're one of the few. I don't think you'd do that. But there are people who have watched this channel that would do that. And I'm telling you, think about it. Don't do it. Be more of an upstanding, legit person. Come out of it and say this movie's not good. You know, and then say fuck the interview with Jack Quaid. Who gives a shit? It's Jack fucking Quaid. Nobody cares. Jack Quaid's not a big star. Why do you care? Conversely, Brad Pitt, who cares, man? These people are just people. I don't care. Even Majors, who was fantastic in Magazine Dreams. I'm not going to come on here and glaze him. I mean, give me a fucking break. These are people. I respect the work that he's done in the gym, not some of the things off the field. We talk about that. But the point is that don't give so much value to this. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see these celebrities like, oh my God, who fucking cares? They're not even that interesting. Most of them. They're really not, okay? So just stop. It's really gross. The whole celebrity worship shit's just fucking weird. I'd rather prioritize Opus than the new Looney Tunes movie. Quick story on that, Luis. They've been asking me to watch the Looney Tune movies. My FaceTime's going off. You're going to have to wait. They've been asking me to watch the Looney Tunes movie. I kid you not. I think it's been for the past 4 or 5 months. I can look. I can pull up my email right now. They're like, "Do you want to watch the Looney Tunes movie? We want you to see this. We heard it's fun." And I was like, "No." I honestly just didn't want to watch it. I've heard it's fun, but I'm just telling you guys, I'm at the place now where I'm saying no, 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 yes, no, 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 no. I just don't want to. Maybe I'll get to Looney Tunes. Maybe I'll get to Opus. I wish I would have seen Opus over what I saw tonight. Black Bag is just not anything that is worth visiting a theater for. It's not the worst film, but again, you know, come on, man. We're in March. We've had a terrible year. It's been a bad year, a very forgettable year outside of Magazine Dreams and a couple others. Magazine Dreams is a very good film that has flaws that makes me, right? I'm still thinking about that film, which is obviously the mark of a very good film. But I also am thinking about it, watching the trailer tonight before Black Bag, and I'm like, oh man, this film, if this would have just done a couple things slightly different. I'm talking about the ending. When Magazine Dream comes out, we're going to have an extended discussion about the end, because this is where I feel like I could come in. I know this. Listen, I've never directed a film, but I can tell you this. I have very good vision on how to assemble the end of something. Like, let's cut this. It really needed to be compacted and done through a really tight, edited kind of situation, it would have been very good. I don't want to ruin the film for you. That's why I'm trying to. I like Magazine Dreams a lot. It comes out next week. Be ready for that. That's going to do it here. Live from the City of Angels. As always, short stream tonight. I'm going to go to bed. Long day. All good. And we'll be back for Electric State sometime in the next 72 hours, along with Snow White Saturday. Those first reactions. We might as well jump on live, do like 15 minutes. It'll be fun. And then that's that. Thanks for being here live from the City of Angels. We'll see you back here whenever we go live again. Thanks for being here. Good night. Peace out. Live from LA.